Hello everyone and welcome back to Cuttlefish's weekly roundup. I'm just going to go through some of the biggest stories of the week, so let's just jump right in. The long-awaited Russia report has finally been released, 17 months after it was first drafted. Now, there are no knockout blows in there, but it has been pretty damning of the government. The most notable part of the 55-page document says that there was no attempt by the UK government to investigate any Russian interference, even after they knew about Russian interference in the 2014 Scottish referendum. The committee had demanded that the government open investigations into the EU referendum, but the government have refused to do so. They say there's no evidence of any meddling, although the committee says that this is because they just haven't looked for any. This is sort of like sticking your head in the sand and then wondering why you don't know what's going on. Now, this could be hugely important for our democracy. Russian interference has been a worldwide issue, ranging from attacks on the DNC in America to what we all suspect happened in the EU referendum. If we don't look into this and if we don't solve this, this could become an issue for years to come. It seems only a matter of time before more Russian agents are heading to Salisbury to look at some cathedrals. There has been an enormous breakthrough in the search for a COVID-19 vaccine. Yes, in Oxford University, scientists have discovered a new vaccine, which they've tested on over 1,000 people, which seems to create antibodies. Now, many people don't fully understand vaccines, so I'm just going to do a quick crash course on it. Now, the body is very complicated, so obviously I am going to have to dumb down and simplify a few bits. When a serious disease hits, the body spends a few days trying to figure out how to deal with it. Now, what it does is it produces antibodies, which are basically specialised attack forces that defeat that specialised virus or disease or anything. These bad boys basically stick onto the virus and kill it, and are coupled with T cells which destroy any newly infected cells. Now, once the virus is defeated, the body doesn't simply get rid of all these antibodies, we sort of keep them dormant. Now, what this does is it means that the next time that the virus comes, these antibodies are already ready to attack, and they go full out and destroy the disease before it can even harm you. This means that there's a very good chance that you've been infected with the same disease multiple times, but you just wouldn't even know about it because your body just kills off the disease before it even affects you. It's pretty nifty. Now, creating these antibodies the natural way is pretty nasty, as it can take a few days and you can get rather ill. So what vaccines do is effectively trick the body into thinking that it has the disease, so it creates these antibodies. Now, it does this in an array of ways. Lots of vaccines do different things, but the way the COVID one works is that we've taken the common cold vaccine, which is actually very similar to COVID, and we've added the sort of little spikes that makes COVID so transferable and so dangerous. And this has now tricked the body into creating antibodies. Now, I'm going to be very clear here, there are no long-term proven issues with vaccines, and they certainly do not cause autism. What vaccines do, however, is allow us to create herd immunity, which is when enough people are infected with the virus that they have antibodies and therefore cannot pass it on or can't be infected again. Now, this is really, really good news, because it means that people who can't get the vaccine are still safe, and it's how diseases such as smallpox have been eradicated today. So as you can see, it's really rather good that these new viruses can create antibodies, as it means that inside our own systems is a superhero waiting to save us. The UK government have ordered 100 million doses of the new vaccine, so let's hope it works, eh? At a time when there is rampant unemployment and mass poverty worldwide, Jeff Bezos, the Amazon CEO, has earned $13 billion in one day, breaking the record. Yes, one day. I used to earn £8 an hour where I worked. Now, this brings his total amount up to $189 billion. There have been a lot of really good breakdowns for how this works. If you want to go on the Metro or the Independent or the Guardian, I think they've all done fantastic breakdowns of what 189 billion really means, but I'm going to do one anyway. So with $189 billion, you could solve world hunger 3 to 4 times over. You could buy the countries of Lithuania and Slovakia and Iceland combined, or you could buy everyone on Earth 4 pints, which is a hell of a round, Or you could buy the 4 UK major banks, or you could buy everyone in the UK 2 brand new iPhones. Do you see the point I'm making here? Meanwhile, 1.6 million Britons use food banks every day, and 15 million households in the US are food insecure. This all comes at a time when the USA had a worse income inequality than France did in 1789, the year of the French Revolution. Makes you think. At long last, Leeds United have been promoted to the Premier League once more. Yes, it's been a torrid, not just few years, it's been a torrid long amount of time since they were in the Premier League. In fact, it was 2003, when I was only 6 years old, when they were last up there. They tumbled down the league to the 3rd division, facing financial disrepair and having to sell off many of their best players. And while they were promoted from the League One to Championship in 2009, they've spent over a decade languishing in the Championship and quite often not even putting up much of a fight. But Marcelo Bielsa has reinvigorated the team and finally secured them the Championship. It'll be lovely to see them back in the Premier League. I'm sure many football fans around the UK are excited to have them up. The open-top bus parade was perhaps a tad controversial considering the current climate, but I think most people will let them off. It's been a long time coming. We're sure to see some pretty rowdy stadiums next year. So thank you for watching Cuttlefish's weekly roundup with your host Michael Saliba. If you want more information, please go and check out the Cuttlefish page. Until next week.